You good, man?
Yeah, it's just these winds of change in the church have become a hurricane lately.
Oh, I thought maybe you had hit the strong drink a little too heavy.
No, although if I hear one more word from you about the Bible being full of women in ministry, you might drive me to put something stronger in this cup.
Oh, please. Miriam sang as a prophetess, Deborah judged Israel, Junia was called an apostle, Phoebe carried Romans. Get over yourself, man.
Okay, fine. I guess there were female prophets, but priests, apostles, elders, always men.
Judges, hello? Does Deborah's leadership count for anything? She ruled Israel. That's more authority than most ministers today.
Yeah, rare. Rare doesn't mean normal. Yoda was rare too. Most Jedi weren't 3 feet tall and green.
If God wanted Deborah in leadership then, why stop women now? Are you saying we've regressed under the new covenant?
What I'm saying is God sets patterns.
There's enough Campbellite in you for the both of us. Look, Peter said sons and daughters will prophesy. At Pentecost, the Spirit fell on all, just like the Force. It flows through everyone.
Does that make all of us Jedi Masters? I think not. Teaching with authority or eldership is not the same as prophecy. Priests, male. Apostles, male. Elders, male. Prophets, sure, both genders, I'll give you that. But prophets relay revelation. Teachers guard doctrine. There's a difference. One is tied to creation order.
Now we're back to this Adam first, Eve second business again. Despite the fact that Cain outranks Abel, Esau beats Jacob, Ishmael trumps Isaac, Scripture flips that script all the time.
Yet Paul appeals to the first couple twice, 1 Corinthians 11, 1 Timothy 2. I know you want this to be cultural so bad. This isn't cultural. This is grounded in creation, in the beginning.
Paul also said women must cover their heads. You doing that in your church?
Head coverings were the custom. The principle behind them, male headship, is what transcends culture. Just like the principle in 1 Timothy 2.
Real convenient, getting to pick which parts are cultural and which aren't.
I mean, you have to some extent, right? Isn't that a principle of hermeneutics? Otherwise, next Sunday, we all better be bringing Paul's cloak back from Troas. And by the way, don't even pretend like picking and choosing is not what you're doing.
Yes, guilty as charged for choosing not to skip over Junia being called outstanding among the apostles. You can't just erase that. Even Chrysostom said she was a woman.
And Craig Blomberg says she was likely a missionary, not an apostle with the 12's authority. Titles can shift in meaning, you know.
Again, very convenient. Speaking of titles, Phoebe was a deaconess. Paul trusted her to carry Romans. If the church asked her questions, she'd have to explain it. That's trust on the level of an apostle.
A courier doesn't rewrite letters. R2-D2 carried Leia's message. Does that make the droid a Jedi?
What a pathetic analogy. I just remembered, we haven't even talked about Priscilla teaching Apollos. She and Aquila explained the way of God more accurately.
Yeah, together. As a couple they did. Also, Apollos was taught privately, not in the assembly.
So I take it you assume the Spirit was like a bouncer on Pentecost, always checking gender ID before giving gifts.
For the last time, I admit, women prophesied. But prophecy is not the same thing as teaching with authority. Prophets transmit revelation, teachers guard doctrine, elders oversee. Different roles.
You split hairs so much, I'm surprised you're not as bald as Master Windu was. It's all ministry.
Yeah, so is hospitality, giving, prayer. Not all ministry is eldership.
God is calling women and you just love boarding up the doors.
The question isn't, are women gifted? They are. It's, does God assign every role to both genders? Scripture says no.
Don't you think your interpretation silences women? You know, makes them feel second class?
Silenced, really? Prophecy, missions, evangelism, discipleship, all open.
So you're prepared to deny a woman's calling to areas outside of those you just mentioned, and to say that the fruit these women are bearing in their ministries is not born of the Spirit, even when their fruit is sometimes better than what the men are producing. You're honestly prepared to deny that God is in any of that it's all just a bunch of baloney. I'd rather fall into the abyss of cultural relativity than bow to your patriarchy. I'll never join you.
Search the scriptures, young egalitarian. You know it to be true.
It can't be. It can't be.